Good noon, Malacanang Press Corps. Kasama na natin si Presidential Spokesperson Salvador Panelo.
Good morning or good afternoon na ba? Morning pa. First, I would like to express our condolences to the family, bereaved family of the OFW who has been executed. Our government extended help to this Filipino. We provided lawyers or a lawyer for her. And we gave regular updates to the family. It's just unfortunate that this particular case, the Sharia law does not apply where blood money can be a reason to stop the execution. So we condole with the family. But we tried. The DFA tried very hard to help. And we also condole the killing of that NDF consultant, as well as the killing of the village chief, the barangay captain running for Congress. We condemn this slaying. There can be no act of violence against anyone, regardless of whether they agree with the government, whether or not we belong to the same ideology or religious belief. We will never tolerate any unlawful killing in this country. I'm ready for your questions.
MPC questions? May follow-up kayo sa statement ni Secretary? Other issue, Joseph?
So yung kay sa NDF consultant, sir? Yung sa NDF consultant kay
Yes.
Randy Malayo, sir? Okay, so there's a statement already from Malacan, no? Pero who do you think is responsible for this?
We don't know. It's being investigated. But regardless of the motivation of killing, we are condemning it. Whether it's a personal reason or connected with his ideology, we are against it. It's
MPC.
against the democratic practice and process.
Sir?
Questions, MPC? Ina, may follow-up or other issue? Other issue na tayo? Okay, Ina?
Good noon, sir. Sir, what do you make of the statement of the Senate President saying that he plans to ask Senator Loren Legarda na i-withdraw na lang daw yung proposed GAA, Senate bill ng GAA and just go for a reenacted budget? Do you think this is something that, is this something that you take seriously, or do you think this is maybe an expression of frustration on the Senate President's part?
First, as he said himself, Senate President Soto, he said he was frustrated. Number two, but despite his suggestion for a reenacted budget, Senator Legarda, who's chairman of the Committee on Budget, declined and insisted. And in fact, last night or yesterday, they agreed to pass the budget next week. And we eagerly await the passage of that bill.
So
In fact, we issued a statement to that effect.
and definitely you will not agree to a reenacted budget.
Oh, they have already decided not to have a reenacted budget because they said they will pass it.
Questions, MPC? May follow-up? Other issue? Catherine?
Catherine.
Yes, sir. Good noon po. Sir, hingi lang po ng reaction regarding the CBCP statement. They're warning the public against the no election daw po. They cited the lower house version of federalism, which they claim as vague, and it will do away daw po the 2019 election. Any assurance po from the government?
What is it against? Against
The
what?
Noel daw, sir, they warning the public against Noel. No election po scenario in May 2019 election po.
Where did they get the...
Sabi daw po nila, sir, they're citing the lower house version of federalism. Masyado daw pong vague, baka daw po magkaroon ng no election. Ayun daw po yung concern ng CBCP.
There is no connection with that. I cannot see any connection. The president said there will be elections and it will be clean, honest, and credible.
Okay, questions? Joyce, other issue.
Sir, according to the latest survey ng SWS, majority of Filipinos are agreeing to retaining the age of criminal responsibility to 15 years old. Will this change the perception of the President regarding the proposed bill na gumugulo ngayon sa Kongreso?
Again, we said earlier that we'll leave it to the wisdom of Congress. The president has already made his position on the matter, but we always respect whatever Congress says on the matter. And according to Senator Soto, I just read a briefer, maybe those who participated in the survey considered the 9-year-old and not the 12-year-old.
Sir, not concerned, sir,
Because
na...
at the time the survey was conducted, the issue then was lowering it to 9. Yun ang hindi yung 12.
Yung sa survey, sir, kasi para median age across different crimes is 15 years old. And hindi po ba to parang as if saying na majority of the Filipinos are not supportive of the measure na gusto ng Pangulo?
Not necessarily, as correctly pointed out by Senator Soto, it might have been conducted at a time when the issue was lowering at 9. And the president, if you recall, said he's comfortable with 12. In other words, the age 12 was not considered in the survey. Perhaps if there is another survey, but even assuming that the majority of the Filipinos would not want it, again, the president will always leave it to Congress.
Are you urging the public, sir, to be open-minded? Kasi dun sa survey, it's 15. They want 15. The median age.
Congress?
The
Well,
public, sir. The public. Do you want the public to be more open-minded with the issue? Given that the president is supporting lowering the age of criminal responsibility.
Well, they should consider the studies outside of this country. I cannot even understand where they're getting the study that there is showing that 9-year-old or 12 years old do not commit crimes. Although they're saying that it's only how much? 1.9% minors are committing crime, but 1.9 is a huge chunk. If you put how many? If there are about 100,000 crimes being committed, and you say 2% of that, malaki din yun. Ay, ibig sabihin, meron pa rin. But again, let me repeat, parang nga the opposition is always, bakit natin kinukulong ang mga bata? Eh, hindi naman nga kinukulong. Hindi ko nang mamaintindihan, ba't di nila iniintindi? It's not jailing them. It's protecting them from criminal syndicates and punishing neglectful parents. Because when you deprive custody of the parents, that's a punishment. Number 2, the bill, as I understand it, are introducing measures para maging effective lalo yung rehabilitation ng mga bata who are conflict with the law. And I just read Senator Gordon is introducing a bill in Congress amending certain provisions of the revised penal code that instead of, halimbawa, naging incorrigible yung bata, sabi mo whether 12 or 15-year-old, hindi na siya ikukulong. Instead of jailing, community service na lang. In other words, palagi yung the law always protective of the welfare of the children. Parang mali yung opposition Parang iba ang tinitingnan nila
Follow-up? May follow-up muna. Other issue, Nestor?
Nestor.
Morning, Secretary. China has opened a maritime rescue center on the Philippine claimed Kagitingan Reef in the West Philippine Sea.
Opening what?
Maritime rescue center in the Philippine claimed Kagitingan Reef in the West Philippine Sea. Is Malacanang concerned about this, or what will the government do about this recent development in the disputed water?
Maybe we should be thankful. I share the sentiment of Secretary Delphine Lorenzana that could help seamen in distress in that area. It can help everybody. Kaya the position of the DFA, of the Department of National Defense is, it will do nothing because helpful pa nga eh. It's a distress center. Ibig sabihin, makakatulong yun sa mga nangangailangan ng tulong in that region.
Will this not affect our claims, sir, in the Kagitingan Reef since...
Hindi naman. I don't think so. It will not.
Follow-up, Ace and then Ina.
So,
But siguro we will leave it to the DFA secretary. Kasi we will not be preempting. Always the president's style is we'll leave it to the departments.
Follow up
Basta
lang.
siya,
Okay.
friends
Sige.
to all, enemies to none. That's
Okay.
the policy.
Nestor muna.
Is the government aware of this, sir, of this establishment of the Maritime Rescue Center?
Well, apparently, since it has reached the news, it has reached our ears.
But how will this affect China's commitment and sincerity in pursuing a code of conduct in the South China Sea, since nations or Southeast Asian nations or claimants in the area have agreed to practice self-restraint, but with this new development, China is, I think, ignoring...
Personally, I don't think establishing a distress center is bad.
In
I
our
mean, it's-
territory, sir?
Even in whose territory? Because it will be
Without our
helping,
permission?
It will be helping everybody in distress.
Without our permission, sir?
What?
Without the government's permission?
No, with the permission of everybody.
But it happened without the government's permission.
Our government,
Yes, sir.
hindi pa natin alam yun. Wala pa naman tayong, we're just really basing on the news. Kaya nga I am
It
saying
was China who admitted, sir, that they indeed established a maritime rescue center.
Yeah, they are establishing it, but they didn't say that they didn't ask permission from the government. I will wait for Secretary Luxin to say something on the matter. And
So
then
we will not protest, sir?
We will react. Kaya nga we will let Secretary Luxin handle the issue.
On the
Initially.
part of Malacanang, sir.
Ay, sabi wala muna. Hindi ba style ni Presidente? Hawakan mo muna yan.
Okay, thank you, Nestor. Ace and then Ina.
so Sec, sabi niyo, we should be thankful. We are taking China's word for it.
Which one?
Yung Maritime Rescue Center, paniniwalaan natin yun.
Na
Na Maritime Rescue Center nga yun.
we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. If we, for instance, if we see anything that will be inconsistent with what they're saying, then we will make our...
Remember, this is the same country who said na magtatayo lang sila ng kubo para sa fishermen sa Mischief Reef years back. And what happened to Mischief Reef?
And this is also the country that promised us then that they will allow our fishermen and not stop them from fishing in their territory or what they claim to be their territory. And they did. Hindi sila iniistorbo doon. So tingnan muna natin. Let's not jump into conclusion.
So, pakibuo lang, Sec. If you see something, yung sinasabi nyo kanina,
Then
inconsistent,
yes, of course, the government will always protest on anything that intrudes into our sovereignty.
and those inconsistencies would be like, ano po, examples.
Kung nakita na, meron din naman tayong intelligence, di ba? Kung nakita nila na hindi naman totoo yung sinasabi nila na in distress. Halimbawa, merong in distress doon, di naman nila tinulungan, o di ba inconsistent na yun?
Or garrison, siguro.
Or garrison, or meron silang tinayo doon na baka magtatayo sila ng nuclear, basta kontra doon sa sinasabi
Sinabi
nila. We will certainly take action.
Thank you, Sec.
Ha?
Anong action daw po?
Oh, di syempre, initially it's always a diplomatic protest.
Thank you, Sec.
Okay, Ina.
Hi, sir. Do you actually, what are you saying that we're not even sure, sabi mo, if they didn't ask permission from the Philippines? Do you actually think China would ask us permission to put up structures in an area which they are saying is
Not
theirs?
necessarily asking permission. They can always tell us, oh, we're going to inform. Ordinarily kasi, countries inform other countries, lalo na pag may conflict, to let you know.
So when you're saying that when they put this up, they informed us and
Hindi
we
ko
let
alam.
them.
That's why I'm saying that let's wait for Secretary Locsin. That's because that's his turf. We don't know kung anong may communication ba China or whether the Chinese ambassador made any information given us. Hindi ko pa alam yun eh.
And how can you say, sir, that it will not affect our claims? Naglagay na nga sila ng sarili nilang structure doon sa kiniklaim natin
Hindi
na
pa
sa
nga
atin.
natin. Baka, are we really sure na nagtayo na sila? Baka naman intention pa lang.
And then why are you saying you're thankful?
Alin? No.
Almost as
when
if
you
you're
say you're
basically
thankful,
confirming.
kung halimbawa naitayo na yon at talagang tumutulong, dapat magpasalamat tayo sa mga kahit na ibang bansa na tumutulong sa ibang bansa din.
Sir, first off,
First, that
the
is
story
only
came
an
from a
intention of China.
state-run na Chinese media, sir, ang nag-a-announce na nagtayo na po sila doon. And then
Eh,
you're
hindi pa
saying
nga
you're
natin alam,
thankful. Isn't that a bit being careless if you're saying you're not even sure about it yet and yet
What
you're
I'm
thanking
saying
them?
is, hindi pa nga natin alam kasi news pa lang yun eh. That is why I'm saying that let's wait for Secretary Locsin.
Okay.
He
And-
must know something that I do not know or anybody.
And by saying that you're thankful if, sinasabi nyo nga kung totoo na nag-build, aren't you worried that this might urge
I'll
China?
be thankful for one, if they inform us initially.
If,
Yun na nga, kailangan condition mo doon. Kung alam natin at wala namang makakasira doon sa claim natin at tutulong sila sa lahat ng mga nangangailangan ng tulong, dapat nagpapasalamat tayo.
so you'd also be thankful if
But,
China does
hindi
this.
ba may bat ako, but kung nambobola ka lang sa amin at yun yung ginagawa mo lang avenue, magkakasira tayo.
So you'd also be thankful if China puts up similar structures in other disputed areas, including those that we claim.
Kung pumapayag ba yung mga claimants ano naman
Hindi
masama
tayo,
doon?
sir. Let's not about the other claimants. Will we be thankful if China does the same in other areas we commonly claim?
If it does not conflict with our sovereignty.
Sorry, sir. They're putting up structures in areas that we claim. How can that not
Hindi pa nga natin alam
Be-
kung talagang may structure
demean
dun
our claims?
Right now, we don't know yet. Oy, kahit may state media, di ba may false news? O, yun naman. Paano kung false news pala yun?
kung false news,
Hindi,
but
hindi, let's make
false
this-
news,
Hindi,
and then
let's-
inuunahan mo that you'd be
let's make
thankful
this
if it
straight.
were true.
Teka muna, let's make this straight. If that has been validated, then Secretary Locsin will make his position on the matter. We will leave it to him first. Sa ngayon, hindi pa naman validated.
But inunahan mo na, sir, Pero kung totoo, thank you.
Kung totoo na, yung condition na sinabi ko, nagpaalam o pinaalam na wala namang ginagawang masama, yun ang mga kondisyon.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Other issue? RJ?
Sir, the BICAM last night said that budget will be obligation-based.
Will be,
Obligation-based instead of cash-based. The DBM wanted cash-based. So will the palace support this, that we should be going back to obligation-based budgeting?
pagkakalam ko, hindi naman total Pwede, ang alam ko, half obligation, half cash. Okay
You're
Secretary
referring to
Joko.
hybrid budgeting.
Parang yun ang intindi ko kay Secretary Joko.
All right. So, but that's you will support it. The BICAM said that they will be going back to obligation-based.
Hindi pa naman sigurado yun Pag nandyan na, we'll make our comment.
Okay.
Pag
There.
pasa.
Okay, questions? Last question na tayo. Joseph.
So regarding the bombings, no? First, dun
Zamboanga.
sa dalawa yun, sir. Pero first, let's go to Holo. What is it really? Is it a suicide bombing or remotely detonated bombing?
Eh, wala pang final di ba? Pwedeng may suicide bombing doon sa labas. Yun ang sinasabi ni Secretary Lorenzana.
The president.
Kasi daw may mga kalat na mga body parts. Pero sinasabi niya rin na parang hindi pa culture ng Pilipino yung nag-suicide. So hindi pa sigurado. Piniimbestigahan pa.
Sir, what is the palace's stake that after the Holo bombing, we have a bombing in Zamboanga of a mosque?
Or we, as we said in our statement, we're condemning it, and it shows that terrorism is rearing its barbaric and ugly head by having another bombing in that area. But we look at it as a taunting challenge to the capability of this government to provide safety to the inhabitants there. And so the armed forces will unleash its might and weaponry against these mass murderers.
Sir, from probably a public's point of view, no? You've had two successive bombings. Should I feel safe?
Well, if there was no martial law there, I'm certain it will not only be one or two. As what happened during the Marawi incident, there was no martial law, and look what they did to Marawi. They destroyed an entire city. But after martial law was declared, these are isolated incidents.
Sir, we have resources of government there, no? Bakit parang ang impression, sir, is that we're just, probably just waiting for the attacks and not preempt them?
Not necessarily. As we have repeatedly said, a determined killer or determined bomber cannot be just stopped by anyone. They will always find ways and means to pursue their goal. But it doesn't mean we're not doing our job. They are. In fact, the lockdown is helping. There is very strict implementation, even of curfews, that will prevent the occurrence of bombings in that area.
Do you think there is a necessity to expand martial law to avoid a spillover?
There's no spillover. It's still
Prevent a spillover?
it's still there. The government will respond
So
to
no-
whatever succeeding events that may happen.
At the moment,
But we're ready for any eventuality in that area.
at the moment, no need to
We
extend.
would like to assure the general public that they can go about their normal activity life. Our country is still a safe haven.
So at the moment, no need to expand it.
There is no necessity for any expansion of martial law, as the President has repeatedly declared.
Okay, thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
Mag-last two na tayo. Rosalie, tatlo. Rosalie muna.
Hi, sir. Good
Rosalie.
afternoon po, sir. Upon the declaration of all-out war against the ASG, does the government see the necessity to ask for assistance from other countries, for example, US or China, since we don't have guided bomb? Nung pong nagkaroon tayo ng Marawi siege, nagkaroon pa ng friendly enemies na mismong bomba ng pamahalaan tumama sa mga sundalo po natin. So, sa tingin niyo po, kakailanganin po ba natin ng assistance from the international community para totally eradicate this problem of terrorism?
There is no need for any asking for help because they are already offering them those support.
Ano po ang particular support na ibinigay na po or
Wala pa,
kinumi-
nag-o-offer pa lang sila.
Sino po, sir?
O hindi ba yung mga ibang countries na binanggit ko the other day?
Can we, do you have,
United Kingdom is one of them. Canada is another. US also. China and Russia. They made expressions of condolences at the same time
what particular,
offering. Wala pa nga sila. Hindi nga sinasabi ko siya. Wala pa nga sinabi lang nila we are offering our support, whatever assistance we can do.
how
They
about,
have-
sir, sa part po natin, ano po yung hihingi natin sa kanila?
Wala tayong inihingi. Sila nga nag-o-offer eh. So we will wait kung anong i-offer nila sa atin.
How about-
Tatanggapin natin.
Yung pong nabanggit ko po, sir, yung pong
Weapons,
mga...
for instance, intelligence. So di, kung yun bibigay sa atin, we will welcome it.
Sir,
Anything that can stop terrorism in this country, we will welcome. In the same way that other countries will welcome such offer of assistance.
Sir, Comelec admitted na yung pong recent bombings sa Mindanao, sa Zamboanga and then sa Holo, may affect yun pong mga voters for the Feb 6 plebiscite sa ibang parts ng North Cotabato as well as sa Lanao.
COMELEC does not have that capability. It's only the armed forces of the Philippines who can say whether it will affect or not. Because it's them that secure the area. COMELEC, ano lang naman yun sa eleksyon.
Hindi, sir, ibig sabihin yung mga botante, matatakot na silang bumoto dahil po sa security.
Oo, nag-speculate lang sila. Speculating lang kasi they're saying na because nagkaroon ng bomba, takot ng tao. Di ba sabi nila, they're going their normal activity. They're just alert now and vigilant and cautious, but they will vote.
So Malacanang
You must
is-
remember that the plebiscite was overwhelming in participation, 85%.
Before the bombing, sir.
Oh, but prior to that, may bombing nga mismo doon sa malapit sa Butuhan, di ba? May bomba doon. Natakot ba sila? Hindi.
So confident ang Malacanang
Yes,
na yung pong
definitely.
bombings will not affect the voters.
We are confident. Yes.
Why, sir?
Filipinos cannot be cowed by terroristic acts. For a while, medyo kakabahan lang sila. Pero pag nakita nila, tuloy na naman. Ganyan naman tayo mga Pilipino. We always manage to stand up in times of distress.
Okay.
Just like Joseph Morong.
Virgil?
Sir, you said earlier na wala pang final result yung sa investigation regarding the Holo bombings.
Yeah.
But the president said categorically last Tuesday that it was a case of suicide bombing.
Kasi nga,
Did the president speak too soon?
pinapaliwanag nga, hindi kayo nakikinig naman kay Secretary Delfin. Sabi ni Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, yung information ni Presidente, nakuha niya rin yon, the same information. Kasi may nagbigay kay Presidente na couple daw. O, so naniniwala sila. But at the same time, tinitingnan pa rin nila yung angle whether or not totoo o hindi. Kasi nga, one, sabi ni Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, kung Pilipino yun, parang ngayon lang mangyayari na Pilipino nag-suicide. Pangalawa, pwede rin naman totoo kasi sabi niya may mga body parts. And yet, ginagamit din nila yung common sense nila. O kahit naman, pwede rin naman na nung nagtatakbuhan, biglang dala niya yung bomba, sumabog prematurely. O kaya naman talagang tinapon doon sa katabi. O di, kaya, hindi pa natin alam
Okay, Tina?
So you attended the reception of sa Chinese embassy
Yes,
reception ng
I
Chinese.
was there.
Si Ambassador Xiao, sinabi niya na he extended the invitation to the president to attend the Belt and Road Forum. Will the president attend it in April?
I haven't
Yung
talked
Belt
to
and
him.
Road Initiative Forum this April.
I haven't
Attend
talked
kasi
to him.
presidente.
But most likely, given the president's inclination to be friendly with China. Baka. Hindi ko pa. But we'll be discussing ko rin sa cabinet meeting.
Sir, sir, magkita ba kayo ng presidente ngayon? Today? Saan
Hindi
po ba
pa.
presidente ngayon?
Ngayon, kahapon, nasa Malabon siya. Kahapon ba yun? The other day.
Sir, today, sir.
Hindi ko pa alam kung nasaan siya.
Sir, there's meron yata schedule of
Tacloban na
Courtesy-
sinasabi, di ba? Bukas.
bukas, courtesy call today with the Israeli officials of the Israel Embassy and Russian Federation. Do you have any idea kung anong mga topics to be discussed?
Hindi ko pa alam.
Will you please brief us
We
at
will.
once
I will ask the protocol.
or issue a statement?
Sige.
Before deadlines po today. Thank you.
We will ask protocol. Chris, tanongin mo na agad ng protocol. Anong agenda? Protocol lang nakakaalam na.
Okay. Last two, Joyce and then Joseph.
Joy.
Sir, nakadaan na si President Duterte sa Manila Bay. Nakita na ba niya?
Hindi. As far as I know, hindi. Hindi pa.
Pero at least sa news, nakita
Sa
na niya
news,
na
yeah.
malinis na. Okay.
Siguro.
So, anong reaction ni President Duterte given na marami nagsasabing hindi ito nagawa ng mga nakarang administrasyon, only in his administration nalinis na ganito yung Manila Bay?
Wala pa ako narinig na komentaryo niya. But siyempre, he will be pleased to know that it has started because he has been saying that should start immediately. That was his directive to Secretary Roy.
So where do we attribute it, sir? Particularly, where do we attribute? Sino yung mga dapat na bigyan ng recognition for that?
Well, everybody. Di ba sabi ni Presidente, everybody should be given credit. Nobody can claim credit for anything that is an achievement of this administration. Everybody.
So he's pleased naman, sir, no?
Huh?
He's pleased.
I think so, yes. When you see your objective being done, siyempre you'll be pleased.
Sir, ang Makabayan Bloc po, they're not really against yung rehabilitation of the Manila Bay, pero they're questioning yung transparency of what's being done there, na maapektuhan daw po yung mga illegal settlers or yung mga tao na nandun sa paligid, and also they're calling for transparency. Sino yung makikinabang sa reclamation ng Manila Bay? Any reaction?
Ganun din naman sila nun sa Boracay, di ba? Natapos na yung Boracay. Okay naman sa kanila. The usual concern, but the government will always look at the welfare of everybody affected there. But certainly those who are not compliant with regulations will have to toe the line.
Sir, last for me na lang. Any reaction, sir, napasa na po sa House on third and final reading yung medical marijuana bill?
Well, that's good for those who are sick. The president has always said that he is in support of marijuana being used as a healing mechanism or medicine.
Will he write sa Senate, sir, for the immediate passage of the bill?
Will he what?
Will he write sa
You mean
Senate?
will he certify
Yes.
the surgeon?
Na
Doesn't have
mapabilis
to
sa
because
Senate.
they're bent also on passing that.
Okay, thank you. Follow up muna sa Rose Novenario.
Hi sir, follow up ko lang dun sa Manila Bay rehabilitation. Sabi ng Makabayan Block, sir, prelude lang itong rehab na ito sa 43 reclamation projects na pinirmahan. Kasama raw po dun yung Pasay City Harbor Project na joint venture po ng isang kumpanya with Davao businessman Dennis Uy. Ano po ba ito? Parang
What do you mean preclude?
Prelude po,
Prelude.
prelude.
What does it
Okay,
mean? What does-
parang inihahanda daw po yung Manila Bay para dun sa reclamation project na ang makikinabang ay mga dambuhalang kapitalista like Dennis Uy.
Not necessarily. Well, when you clean up Manila Bay, certainly all of us will benefit. Now, with respect to reclamation, even the government will benefit from that because we get, if I understand correctly, it's 65, 35. 65 yung atin doon. Laki. That will generate income to the government because of the sharing. And that will generate jobs because if they will be establishing structures there and
Sir, yung,
establishing companies, na siyempre may mga workers.
yung 300,000 informal settlers po na maaapektuhan ng rehabilitation, anong plano ng gobyerno ron?
Oh, then we will have to find a place for resettlement. And also, siyempre yung mga involved sa reclamation, they have to contribute to the solution. Dahil hindi naman matutuloy yun kung nandun sila.
So, obligahin po ng gobyerno yung mga negosyante o mga kumpanya na magbigay ng pabahay para dun sa mga madi-displaced na informal settlers?
Hindi lang obligahin, most likely they will. Kasi my experience is, pag may problema yung mga may-ari ng lupa, they do not rely on the government anymore. They offer to resettle them. Kasi mas profitable sa kanila. Kaysa hindi umalis doon, magdidemanda pa ng mga tagalan. Meanwhile, yung mga projects nila nakatenga.
Sir, thank you.
Okay, last question na tayo, Joseph.
Sir, with regard to China, no? Okay. In principle, sir, do we not see anything wrong with China erecting structures? Let's do away with the name. It's a structure being put by China in our territory. Do we see nothing wrong with it?
You know, I remember during the last trip, they precisely agreed to create a group. And I understand the Philippines president is the coordinator. So whatever concerns each one has, will have to pass through that. So I suppose that group will have to consider any construction of structure from China.
But sir, just an answer the question. Do we see nothing wrong with it?
Anything that will go against the present claim certainly will be not good. And China should know that too.
Okay na, Joseph? Okay, thank you, President. Okay, follow up. Tina Mendez.
Sir, were you referring to the bilateral consultation mechanism? Sir,
Yung sa budget, yes.
hindi, I mean,
Yung grenade
yung,
niya.
so can we say that the palace is asking the BCM to look into the matter? With your recent statement, sasagot niyo kay Joseph.
I don't know how that committee works. Hindi ko alam pa kung paano, how. Basta alam ko lang, there is a group. So I cannot respond intelligently to that.
So,
Being ignorant on the process.
so can it be na the palace will ask the BCM or motu proprio can the BCM act on the latest developments?
Hindi ko nga I cannot respond nga kasi hindi ko alam kung anong process, how it will work out.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, MPC. Thank you, Presidential
Thank
Spokesperson
you.
Salvador Panelo. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.